Myths and Mountains was designed to bring people inside a culture, to really get to know how people live, what their dreams are, what their daily life is. And so we asked some very special favors of the people in a country to let us inside their world. It also was to give something back, because if people bring you inside a world, then you want to be able to do something for them and share. It is a philosophy of travel that doesn't bring you just to stare at people, but really to learn from them and what they have to give, because they're very wise. Read is interesting. It's hard for people to understand sometimes. Basically what we've done is take a library and use it as the catalyst for real community development. Educational development, not just for children, how they go to school, but preschool, women's education, reproductive education, education about the environment. Because our philosophy when we look at environmentalists is if people don't have this basic education, it's just not going to happen. Myths and Mountains and Read really go together, and it's very much loved by everybody. And goodness, you'll meet everybody from a former ambassador to some farmer in a village field and sit down and talk. When you build 45 libraries in a country from one end to the other, you have doors that open for you and the people who travel with you that will not open for anybody else. You have experiences and meet people that most people will never meet in a country. Last year, the Read Nepal was the winner of the $1 million Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's Access to Learning Award. So that really made a difference to Read Nepal and meant that we could branch out into other countries, knowing that we had at least the next 2 years worth of support for Nepal under our belts. We've actually been building a whole motorcycle program that's fascinating. For example, we do a motorcycle trip from Hanoi to Saigon on the Ho Chi Minh Trail. We do a motorcycle trip around the northern part of the country on the border with China, which is fascinating. We just this year are starting a motorcycle trip through Cambodia, visiting all the temples and then ending up on the beach in Sihanoukville. And next year we're going to add a program in South America. Very few companies do customized travel, truly customized travel. So that, for instance, if you want to study puppetry in Vietnam, we can take you to see the water puppets. You can go back and learn how they make the water puppets move around. You can go to the village that makes them and physically learn how to make the puppets. You can learn about the music that they have and the dance and the movement that goes along with it. Whatever you want, we can take you to study shamanism in Ecuador. So it's one of the truly unique qualities that we have, and it's a customization that's not just for people who want to live in a jungle, but also people who want some very high-end travel and to meet the chief cardiologist in Beijing or what have you. And very few companies will do that kind of work.
I think that Read is doing what we all wish we could do when we want to help a community. And somehow or other, Tony just, man, she's awesome. Yeah. She is awesome. And she got it all together, and she is working with these local people in the most effective way.
I mean, she's got a nonprofit that works. Well, I mean, if you build 45 libraries in 17 years, that's a win. Yeah. In anybody's book, clearly, when you go on these to visit libraries and go to a library dedication, such as the one we went to the other day. People are thrilled with what she's done, and that you can't beat that.
I was really impressed with the people at the libraries. It was just such an emotional experience to see how much these people feel about a book. And some of the quotations that were in the libraries about knowledge is all, that's a real community effort. And that those libraries that we saw were all true community, grassroots efforts.
Most tours, you never interact with real people. And this one, you did interact with real people. And you got a different flavor for the country than riding along in a tour bus.
It was really amazing. I've traveled a lot, but I saw more in 2 weeks' time than I ever could imagine possible. You know, we met Pai Lamas and saw a lot of different areas, met the local people, were welcomed into their homes, and really saw, I think, the true Nepal and the people themselves, and got a feel for how special it is.
The biggest thing to me was the variety of the topography. that we got to see. And one of the benefits of going to a relatively small country is that you can get all around in the country and see most of it. So,
You're out there, you're walking. That day we walked from Johnson to Kupche. That was a day's work.
anybody who is relatively healthy and can get around a little bit can go on one like this. You don't have to be a marathon runner or a trekker to be able to do this trip. So it's really wonderful.
Just go. It's better than
Yes.
you can imagine. Just do it. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Just find out what you might be able to do to help in advance, but otherwise just go.
The more you read, the more you know. The more you know, the smarter you grow. The smarter you grow, the stronger your voice. The stronger your voice to make your choice. And books do it all.